in the ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Woo-wee. One-on-one, brought to you by Beatrice Bakery. I am going to do the thing that we do because it's how I want to dismount from this week. I'm going to take more nominations from Beatrice Bakery for care packages. Let's do that. Let me know who you're thinking about. Let me know who you want to pat on the back. Let me know who you want to cheer for, celebrate. Right? Simple. Who is it that you want to see smile? Who's doing the heavy lifting behind the scenes? Who is dealing with stress and expectation? Who's dealing with carrying a burden, and who is carrying the extra weight? Who do you want to pat on the back, and who do you want to see smile? Who do you want to see smile? Pretty simple. Go to ticketfm.com. Find the Beatrice Bakery banner. Click on it. We'll put together a care package for somebody in your world who deserves, needs a pat on the back, celebration. It was a good day yesterday to do that, and the nominations were strong, and it was a great day's work. So, and I saw that a couple people came by and picked up their stuff. So, yeah, let's do that. But I want to do it today. It's Thursday. It's a little cold out. I got smacked by that cold this morning.
A little cold?
Oh my goodness gracious. But
Hard
yeah,
pass on this weather.
Well, yeah, it's just it's supposed to be 60 in DC.
I was to say, are you going to better weather, or
It's supposed to be 60 in DC?
We're supposed to be 60 over the weekend.
Okay, well then hopefully
it's gonna be good softball weather is what it's gonna be.
Hopefully you get to do that. Have you talked to Mark about what you're going to do for spring game?
No. Oh wait, no, we talked about it. I need to get confirmation.
We're not going to hold up.
I know
credentials
today. I know. I need to get confirmation today. I know.
Please handle that.
Yeah.
402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. You can put nominations for the Beatrice Bakery care package. You can put it on text line if you need to. If that simplifies it for you, we want you to have the ability to do so. Don't want you to be bound by having to go on the website, but if you can and if you would, we greatly appreciate it. Starter Heyman video stream is up. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so you can see what's going on in the studio. Lots to talk about when it comes to Nebraska athletics and the good. I'm trying to remain neutral on, and I have to do better about finger pointing at the men's programs and highlighting the women's programs. What I should be doing is, and this is just from me, to me, about me, that I need to do better about celebrating all the teams, no matter whether they're winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the person who
tears one down and builds one up.
Right. That's not necessary. And that's not what we're here to do. Besides, it's not necessary. Like, it doesn't benefit anybody to say, well, the men's teams aren't playing well. Well, okay. Duh.
We can see
like that. That's low hanging fruit.
Mm-hmm.
We should elevate and be better than that and figure out what's going on with it. Right?
What if we can't figure it out?
Well, but then you keep saying that we can't figure it out, but we are still curious and we still care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be vexed by it and still not be a jerk in it. Like, you don't have to be angry about it. We're still trying to figure out what it is. That when you talk to the baseball players, when you talk to the men's basketball team, when you talk to the football team, they're vexed as well.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody's working to do worse.
As a fan, you can say you are vexed and you're, not mad, not disappointed, like sad that it's not working
you
out,
want
but
better
you're
for 'em.
not, but I don't care how diehard of a fan you are not feeling worse than the players themselves.
Right. They've got more skin in the game. And I understand that your Husker fandom runs rampant and runs amok, but it doesn't measure to what the young people go through.
Mhm.
And that's also the way that we should be dealing with the young people a little more fluidly and positively. Like we're not making it any better for them by going, you guys aren't playing very well.
Yeah,
Woo!
figure it out.
Like no, that's why they're here and they're trying to figure it out. So as fans, be fans, and that's being supportive of. Look, it's tough. I mean, I'm getting a double whammy. I got Nebraska, and then I've got DC, and it is not good.
Same.
It is not good, right? Did you go right with the Knicks? You
Same.
go, okay. Well, we can say we want better. We don't have to bash and go, oh my God, what do you do? No. The reality is they are who they are. I root for the people in the communities more than the teams often.
Mhm.
Like the grand result is a part of why you go all in. But knowing who the people are makes you care more. That's just human nature. So, and
So learning about the student athletes and their stories and more about who they are as people, which is what we've been trying to do here at the Ticket, and supplying.
That's funny. You're funny.
You're
funny.
I can't even do it with a straight face.
It's funny.
Oh, I tried so hard.
Oh man. Well, this is so funny. Okay, so there was the thing. Look,
You can say it. It's
Full
fine. I mean,
transparency.
it's your quote.
So, as some of you know, we did a sit down interview with Kent Walgamot from the Lincoln Journal Star.
Shout out Kent.
So, yeah, absolutely. We'll get back to Kent next week. But in that, it's like, well, why? What are you doing? Like, what are you trying to do here? What's the mission? What's the purpose? What's the focus? And I said, well, quite frankly, just trying to connect Husker fans with the Husker student athletes so they get to know them, and we want to tell their stories and let you have relationships with them.
Give the fans access.
You give them, provide some great content and talk about their experiences. And it was literally, it was what we were talking about.
Pretty good. It was pretty good.
That's what we were talking about.
It's a good quote.
And so through that, over the course of the months in which we've kind of transitioned to this version of the Ticket, where we're having more student athletes on, and we will have more. We're actually going to have more.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, we're going to have more, right? Because there are more stories to be told. Like we don't have the full softball coverage that those young ladies deserve.
That is true.
Track does not have the support that it needs. I mean, they've got All-Americans and
everywhere.
Right. I mean, through that.
Got a beautiful indoor track and a brand new outdoor track that is
Not
done but not done.
Yeah.
The track is done,
right.
But everything else about the track is not done.
Right. Through all that stuff. All of this stuff, right? And then have somebody take that and just say that, look, in truth, we've had to fight and scrap to get student athletes and coaches on. There have been some roadblocks that weren't necessary in my mind because we're being allies to it, right? So we appreciate what it was. We'll keep working for that, just so you know.
Okay.
Just to do that, because some folks will say they're doing it. Text line says this. I think the poor Nick should be put on a list for a care package. I saw him last Friday night in his Ticket uniform, polo and shorts, doing his duty on a frigid night. I was glad to see that his boss let him wear more appropriate slacks to the equally frigid Sunday game. Nick dresses himself.
What was he doing Friday? Was that baseball? Yeah, it was baseball. So I was with him on Sunday. He didn't even wear a jacket.
Here's the thing. I didn't send him.
He went.
I didn't dress him.
He went of his own accord.
Of his own accord, his own volition.
Nick's a big boy.
He's grown up. I didn't make him.
Nick's a big boy. He dresses himself. He's got a hoodie on.
I don't dress Nick.
I don't think he wore a jacket though. Again today.
I don't dress.
Sir, it is cold outside. Put on a jacket. Because I sent a picture and Rachel said Nick's mother raised him better than to not wear a jacket.
Well, my only thing with the weekend was that he went. That he and Nate. I mean, they went to a ball game. I didn't get invited. I didn't get invited.
Well, you were invited Sunday because we knew you were going to be at Pancakes.
I wasn't invited,
and that was the only game I went to. I don't know if they went before. I know Nick went on. He went on Friday. I don't think Nate went.
I wasn't invited. I was not invited. I was not invited.
You were at Pancakes, and we knew you were going to be at Pancakes, so we didn't invite you.
I was not invited,
and I would have invited you to.
I won't be at Pancakes this week.
Well, you're going to be in Washington. You're going to be in DC.
So
do you want? Hey, no, here. Would you like to go to softball with me and my family on Saturday?
Yeah, I would like to go, but thank you. Can't do it.
You're going to softball this weekend?
I believe we are.
Cool.
Are you going to softball?
I'll see you there.
All right.
Yeah. So
would you like to? Would you like to go?
Hey,
I'd like to go. I won't be able to go.
Okay.
Rico, did you get invited to softball Tuesday against Creighton?
No, I did not.
I did.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually did. I really did. I got invited. I really did. I don't know what you were doing at 3:00. You were done.
Well,
you were done.
I had my kids, so I was.
There's always
that's why I didn't get an invite. And even if I did get an invite, I would have said no.
There's always a break. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to break, and then when we come back, we will bring in Coach Barry Thompson here on One on One.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Coppell gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Monday, Fremont beat Lincoln Southwest 6-3. It was a game full of errors for Lincoln Southwest. All of Fremont's runs were off walks and errors. Lincoln Christian won over Wahoo 5-4. Lincoln East dominated Grand Island in a shutout 19-0. Noah Walters went 3-4 at the plate and stole 3 bases. Lincoln Northeast got past Lincoln North Star 7-2. Lincoln High lost to Norfolk 6-4, and Norris lost to Lincoln Pius 7-10. Cale Fountain for Norris had a 6th inning home run to put the game away. In boys soccer on Monday, Lincoln High shut out Lincoln North Star 3-0. Lincoln Southeast just got by Lincoln East 1-0. Lincoln Southwest beat Lincoln Pius 2-0. Kramer had an early goal from outside the box to get the lead, and Waverly beat Beatrice 2-0. Kemper Reed had both goals for the Vikings. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, don't miss your chance to get a first look at this year's Nebraska football team at Memorial Stadium. The annual Husker football red and white spring game is set for Saturday, April 9th at 1 p.m. Tickets are on sale now for only $10. To secure your tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Decreasing cloud cover, not nearly as windy. Northwest winds could still gust over 20 as we'll top out near 51. We'll see clear skies tonight with a low of around 26. A high tomorrow of around 62 with a chance of rain moving in by tomorrow evening. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Why do I like Blue Bloods? Here's why. If you're successful over time, that's the true test. And in my lifetime, North Carolina basketball, Kansas basketball, Duke basketball in my lifetime has almost always been good. I mean, all three of them. I mean, it's reliable and they should be good because they put so much energy into it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Adversity introduces a man or a woman to themselves. It's easy to say, oh, have a great day when things are good. But when life happens, as we all know, adversity hits, that's when we find out who we are. It's okay to be not okay.
And sometimes we can't see the help that's there because of whatever issue.
There's athletes that are talking about mental health and just well-being and burnout right now because in the past 2 years, if COVID has showed us anything, it showed us the importance for connection.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to One-on-One with DP, presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
That's just masterful. That's just masterful. It's just masterful. Things done well, and we love it. Let's bring him in. BT, Coach Barry Thompson.
What's up? The pirate needs a clock. Sorry about being late today.
Man, you ain't never got to apologize for doing what you do, man. You know you out there. What I know is if you're not here, you working. So
yeah, you got me. You've been looking in again.
Yeah,
I just ran a little bit over. Yep.
You've been working, and you're
yeah.
There's a thing that so Barry is helping a young man find his way through the combines and development and getting himself in front of other talented football people. And so you see the good, the bad, the in between. You see the indifference. You see the passion. You see where folks have been numbed, even in their work. That, oh my goodness, I'm doing this because I love it, but I'm not really going to get any benefit from it. And then having to talk them through it. What's the toughest thing for a quarterback preparing for his audition, his NFL, USFL audition? What's the toughest thing that a player has to go through?
No, it's my first time through, and so my experience is kind of solely based on, working with Guy. But judging the process, I think, believe it or not, the most difficult thing when you're coming from a small school, you're not being drafted, is to get the opportunities to perform and in front of people that matter. I think that's not an easy thing to get done. And then the realization that you have to summon a performance. When you go out and play a game, you have an intention to always just playing as best as you possibly can. But you know that during the course of the game, when you make a mistake, you'll have an opportunity to overcome it, to do something greater at the end or when it really counts. Well, in these formats, you're being judged and being judged quickly. So if there's a mistake, it's really it's at the hands of the judger as to whether they think they can overlook that or not. I think that's a tough standard. So I would think that would be the hardest part so far. One, getting the opportunity, and then two, preparing yourself in such a way that you can summon a performance on command.
So there's some genius in what you just said, right? That these young people are being asked to conjure up the performance of a lifetime on call simply for the opportunity to conjure up another performance at a greater moment. But what I know to be true about you and the way you prepare athletes is nothing that Guy Myers or any quarterback is going to see or be asked to do, it's not going to be new to him because you have prepared him and put him in. That's the definition of being prepared, is that you have done the work for all things that will be asked of you when it matters.
DP, you've been looking in again. It's just it's so funny because that just came up on Tuesday, was it? The pro day that he had at Shepherd University. We didn't have a script going in. I didn't know exactly who was running and how they were going to do it. And so I had a discussion with them the night before. I said, look, I don't know what this is going to be, but I said exactly. I said, they're not going to ask you to do anything that we haven't done or how to do, whether it's under center, or the gun, or this type of throw, or they want you to run out of the pocket, or an over, just whatever it is, we've done it. And I think that in large part went to his confidence that he had on Tuesday. And I thought he performed well. And it was interesting. A lot of people were talking a lot about Malik Willis and how he was engaged and making a big thing of that. Well, with Guy in his own way, because of the confidence level that he had and the ease at which he felt, I was watching a similar thing that the receivers were actually reacting to him and he was gathering people, and when they're about to shut it down, he just really went into practice mode. There was a guy who dropped the pass and Guy just reflexively said, we can't end that way. You know what I mean? They went back and ran a route. So that preparedness helps you a lot.
Through workouts and circumstance, right? Sometimes it requires that you practice indoors. Some days it's outdoors when weather isn't good. Some days it's when you're short talent to work with. Some days it's things line up for you ideally. But as you have these discussions and lead these young people, if we paired that to Nebraska spring camp, that the spring game is just a celebration of all the work done and all of the lessons that have been taught up to that Saturday morning. Is that a statement of truth or no?
Yeah, I think, just judging and being around a few programs that when they're in this winter, spring phase, you're working diligently on all these specific points. Whether, Mel Tucker a while ago was just, they were harping on the fundamentals, and that's what they were harping. So whatever they're harping on and whatever is the point of emphasis throughout this thing, what you really want to see in the spring game is the application of that. You want to see that foundational brick that you've built through the winter training and the spring practices, that foundational brick can go in the ground and become the cornerstone of what's going to come in the fall camp. I think that's ideally what you want to see. So there should be stated goals, stated purposes, and then a defined path on how to work with it, whether it's, building the team, whatever it is. In that spring game, you want to see the application. You want to see all that work reflected. Absolutely.
For quarterback play, so for Casey Thompson, for Purdy, for Logan Smothers, is the spring session more mental or physical?
Well, I think it depends on where they are in the depth chart, but it gets back to what we were kind of talking about. They've been in touch with football, but it's been since November.
Mm-hmm.
So December, January, March, April, since they've had the summon of performance, right? So that now you've got to summon it and go perform, and that takes practice, right? So they'll get opportunities in August. There'll be, many times you have to go out and perform. But this will be the first one under the light, with the public watching and being on display. And so I think that it's time for them to just dust off their performance capes and go out there and perform and execute the way they should.
I'll ask you this because I know the answer already. So when reports come out that Jacquez Yant is mauling defenders, just mauling them, that so much to the point where you've questioned tackling and front seven defensive play, right? The pipeline looks improved, and you got a downhill runner. But then you have Ramir Johnson, who can flash and pop with quickness. You're at spring practice, Barry Thompson. It's your offense. Are you giving the defenders a break? Or are you yeah.
Yeah, well, not knowing first of all, no. Completely no. The best way to make a team better is make yourself better. And I do believe in the depth, around my guys, and I do believe in a practice format that is true. There's at least two definitions of the word compete. One is I win and you lose. Everybody uses that definition in the fall. But when you're developing and you're trying to get better, I think the other definition is a more useful one, which means to vie with to get better. And that, so that if I best you, right, in something, then it's your duty and your responsibility to say, oh, that was pretty good, but now watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just builds on itself. It connotes a different type of attitude as you're getting to do things. It's something that I keep with all my quarterbacks, that, we're here to vie with to get better. And so, no, if the defense is having trouble, they need to vie a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we know we've been on the offensive side against defenses that were, getting hyped and were the focus. And then if we would do a thing, because we understood that if we found a defensive lamb, as we call them, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a little lamb over there. That we also know that we don't help the team get better if we do not highlight and focus on said weakness / lamb. How do you?
Yes, in practice, yes.
Okay.
In a game, I had a habit of I would tweak that lamb just enough so the lamb could stay in the game. I always want that lamb in my back pocket. I always figure the one is better than one you don't know.
Right.
So I would go after it, but I would kind of go after, so got hollered at,
Yeah.
not pulled out of the game. But yes, in a development format. The other thing too, and you can tell me, I don't understand the value of broadcasting how good, Yan is. I don't. Maybe I'm a little old school, but if somebody had put a mic in front of me and said, "How's it going?" I said, "Hey, we're getting better. Our run game looks a little better." I don't know the interest in broadcasting it, but that's just me.
Well, because they're going to ask. Like in this space where there's 948,000 broadcaster reporters, bloggers, so-called media people, where nothing is a secret, and you can't, right? And then you get to the point where, as a leader, you have to be honorable. You have to speak in integrity, and if a thing is true, you should be able to say that thing is true, and let other people respond and react to it, rather than hiding in the cupboard and going, "Okay, this is my little secret, my
Okay,
pretty."
well, I'll pass it on to Bill Belichick.
Well, but
No,
that's
I'm joking.
that's the fair, but Barry, that's absolutely the fair part, right? Is that Popovich and company? There are groups who have said, you know what, I'm not going to dance with you in this space. I'm just not going to do it for the very reason that you said what it was. Like you're absolutely right. We coach from a place and space where we never have to validate what we do or how we do it. That's not the case here. That's not the case here,
I got you.
right? And that it's the same thing, that mom and dad or an assistant coach at a high school program of somebody that you work with, where you're working with them for 10 months out of the year, and you see the good, the bad, and indifferent, right? You see them as they really are. Then a high school coach who gets them all with the benefit of your work, right? They get a polished diamond rather than the piece of coal that it was, and then they want to question the fact that you turned it into a diamond instead of respecting the fact that you in fact created the diamond. I ask you that because I want to ask, as competitions happen, right? The quarterback position always, and no matter what program it is, whatever, what team, what level, the quarterback competition, in air quotes, is an important thing, because it just lets people exhale, and knowing that we have a leader, we have that, the other. How important is it when you go into a season and you're going to do this, right? So you'll see your guys in the spring, and then it'll determine who's going to play quarterback in one of the great public school programs in the state of Virginia.
Right.
You know what you have.
Right.
Is a full competition possible?
Yes, but you have to have an understanding when the competition starts. It doesn't start in August.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that are involved. It's funny that you bring up this subject. Just a quick aside, and we'll get back to what I'm facing. We're doing a middle school QB school in Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be 6 hours on the field, and I'm putting together a great staff. And what we're doing in that format is we're kind of, in a progressive way, going to expose these rising 7th, 8th, and 9th graders to the things that they need to be good at, to understand, to be the one, right? And get them to understand where the standards are, because you're trying to be the one. Every other position on the football field, you have multiple chances to get on there. In most normal circumstances, as a quarterback, you only have one chance to get on. Kickers, right, linebackers, running backs, receivers, all have rotations and different ways that you can get onto the field, special teams and so forth. But as a quarterback, you generally there's only one. And so back to specifically this spring, the guys that I work with, they understand that, and they come to understand that. And to the school that I'm going to, I haven't seen all the QBs, but they should have an understanding that the competition has already started. It's not just going to be, what they do in front of me. It's some of what they did last year, right? And as you look at that, I'm coming into it with those eyes. Are those things correctable or are they not? But at the end of the day, everybody wants a quarterback in that position who is a leader, who is a guy that you can trust to get the ball from point A to point B and to make good decisions when it's not like it's drawn up on the chalkboard. So in a nutshell, that's the competition. Who can best ascend to that role?
We're talking to Barry Thompson, Fairfax Football Academy QB coach. The word trust is used often, but I think in competition, as we talk about it, that the player who earns the trust of the offensive coordinator is the guy that will win the job. Is that not fair?
Yes. The answer is yes. And that trust is not, I'm going to give them the keys to the house. The trust is built through how this young person carries themselves. We've talked, and it's something that's going to come up in this middle school camp that we're doing. To talk to them about the 2 and the 22. To understand that if you say you want to be this person, then it is an all-day sucker. That your decisions, your attitude, how you handle things, and the 22 hours that you're off the field are going to directly impact the type of teammate and player that you're going to be. And you can't view it any other way. So there's a way to go about your life. There's a way to manage your time. And the more that you're striving to be the best version that you're going to be, the more likely you're going to wind up being that trusted person. And that's true for 99.1% of the human beings out there. Are there others who can act horribly and they're so talented that they can get out there and do that stuff? Yes. But for most of us, we have to go the other route. It's an all-day sucker. It's just something that you're pursuing daily. And you enjoy doing it. That's the other part. It cannot be a pain to you to try to get up and do the best that you can every day. That has to be some type of challenge that you embrace daily. And that stuff, it's not as hard to discern over time as people would think, because not everybody's willing to do that. I saw something that I think is, these things get popular from time to time, but bottom line, it takes what it takes,
right?
And some people just don't want to do what it takes. It takes what it takes.
Well, that leads, you talk about the 2 and 22, and every major Power 5 conference program speaks to the 2 and 22, but I think they missed taking the next step, which is informing people. I asked you this question, and I think the answer would identify a lot of what we're talking about. That most student athletes more likely determine their outcome in the 2 during the 22. That they will either fail or succeed because of the 22 as much as the 2.
I'd say more than.
Yeah.
Except we know there's freaks out there.
Well.
Right, who can do all kinds of things, and then to go to the extreme, there are versions of a Dennis Rodman out there, right, who can throw caution to the wind, and so there's a very small percentage, but everybody else, they're going to stumble in the 22. They're just that, when you're talking about being one, right, you're just talking about being one, and you are going to be the person that are going to get the keys to the car. When you're talking about being that person, it requires a discipline. It requires a commitment. It requires a huge level of persistence, of relentlessness, right, in pursuit of this thing. And it almost becomes part of the DNA, because it's a relentlessness and a persistence that's never really satisfied. It's not as if you get the prize, they give you the keys to the car, and you take your hands off the wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all.
Right.
Right. It's this thing that, okay, I got it. Now I want to, to stay with the car analogy. Now I want to drive it. Now I want to take it on another trip. Now I want to upgrade. Now I want a bigger model. Now I want to add some things to it. It's that kind of perpetual, can I get better thing. And once the wheels start rolling on that, it kind of has its own momentum. And the great thing about working with young people in this position is it's a momentum that will carry them through to life, no matter, how far they go. Just a quick aside, we had a kid that was offered today, got an offer from Delaware, and then he got an offer from UPenn today. And I was talking to his dad, and I said, my goal is for these guys to have options at the end of their, high school career. Well, if he doesn't draw another offer, he's got two heck of options.
Mm-hmm.
Delaware matches him a lot with academics and the offense they run. And then now he has a choice to go off and play football if he wants to and get an Ivy League degree.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that, having that sort of focus and presence. Kind sir, I don't know if you're cooking or just eating. What are we doing?
Eating.
We're eating.
We're eating. There's my brother was kind of near me. He's in New Hampshire, but he was kind of near me. So we
Shout him out. Shout out the former Husker.
Yeah, DT. And he says he can gather some old guys and maybe spit some old stories your way that he used to hang with. And I told him, I'll put you in touch. But we met at this place. He was in Delaware. I was in Virginia. And right across the Bay Bridge is a place called Harris's Crab Deck. And it's kind of early, but we love these blue crabs. And we went in and had about a dozen of these jumbo blue crabs. And I'm telling you, they were absolutely freaking delicious, and we didn't leave anything but cartridge. And so it's always great this time of year in our area to kind of, it's kind of the onset of, spring is coming.
Yeah.
And getting crabs in this area later, 1st of May, it'll be crawfish boils and things like that. So we're turning spring, and that's one of the kind of rites of spring around here is go get some crabs and maybe have an adult beverage.
Are the blossoms going to be out?
The blossoms are out, and they're out. They're probably going to get blown. You're hitting town. You'll be able to see them. Absolutely.
Yeah,
they're still up.
Yeah, it's going to be the first thing you find in Reagan. You pull out and see the blossoms.
That's
how we're going to do it. All right, brother. I will see you in a few hours, kind sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, BT. Thank you, brother. Love you. That is Barry Thompson, Fairfax Football Academy. Again, when you talk about all the stuff behind creating these athletes and coaching and putting systems together and schemes together, there's so much to it. But when you have a plan, it becomes pretty simple, and he's very successful. So we'll close out one-on-one and get you all set up for the Captain Show when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Monday, Fremont beat Lincoln Southwest 6-3. It was a game full of errors for Lincoln Southwest. All of Fremont's runs were off walks and errors. Lincoln Christian won over Wahoo 5-4. Lincoln East dominated Grand Island in a shutout 19-0. Noah Walters went 3-4 at the plate and stole 3 bases. Lincoln Northeast got past Lincoln North Star 7-2. Lincoln High lost to Norfolk 6-4, and Norris lost to Lincoln Pius 7-10. Cale Fountain for Norris had a 6th inning home run to put the game away. In boys soccer on Monday, Lincoln High shut out Lincoln North Stars 3-0. Lincoln Southeast just got by Lincoln East 1-0. Lincoln Southwest beat Lincoln Pius 2-0. Kramer had an early goal from outside the box to get the lead, and Waverly beat Beatrice 2-0. Kemper Reed had both goals for the Vikings. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrill, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln. Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And things have obviously been pretty challenging lately with new vehicles, with all the microchip and supply chain issues, but things continue to loosen up as Koppel gets more and more new vehicles in each and every week. We've had many customers also custom order their vehicles. So if you don't see what you want in our current inventory, we can put an order in to get exactly what you want. So go online, reserve your new vehicle at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment, One-on-One. Coming up, Captain Show. Got a good one. It's good. It's a good one. Kenny Wilson, former Husker I back, will join Vershawn Jackson at 11:30. 11:30. 2-7 up the middle. I back you. It's good to remember. It's good to remember.
Memories.
Well, so part of like redirecting conversations is that you can talk about what is by knowing what was.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get past the point of saying, yes, Nebraska can have great things, because you have, then you can go back to the discussion of how you get there. And then the other part of it also as well is that it's much easier to talk about the good times than it is to just constantly hammer yourself over
negatives.
right, like just constantly
Well, this sucks and this sucks and this has never been good for a long time. And
we
this
can
is
never
terrible.
have great things, and we can.
We're cursed.
So that's funny.
I've already given people ways to break the curse.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do that.
Nobody's gonna get hurt.
Okay.
Except for a little inflatable guy.
No, stop doing that. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. All right, we do have a care package nominee that we want to highlight, sir.
That we do.
If you would please.
This nominee is Anna Burbach.
Mm-hmm.
She was nominated by her coworker, Jason. Anna Burbach is a foster care specialist in Lincoln for a local nonprofit, Cedars. She's very dedicated to working with children who have endured abuse and neglect and the foster families who take care of these children during their time of need. Anna is devoted to helping others, including through her involvement outside of work with adults who need some assistance with home health related daily functions such as routine hygiene care and etc. Anna is a truly dedicated individual who puts others' needs before her own on a regular basis. She's sort of an earthly angel, you might say.
Wow.
Her coworkers, clients, friends, colleagues, and others are thankful for her caring ways and her pleasant and supportive spirit. Thank you for considering this nomination. Jason, longtime ticket listener.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, like to do this. So
an earthly angel.
Yeah. So if we can get somebody to, Jason, if you can swing by and pick up a care package, deliver it to Anna, courtesy of Beatrice Bakery and 93.7 The Ticket, and yourself. And thank you for doing what you do. I want to read this. It comes from University of Nebraska. As previously acknowledged, Nebraska Athletics has been in negotiations with JMI Sports for a long-term media rights agreement. We have been working closely with their leadership on final details of a proposed contract. However, we were not able to come to an agreement on the final terms of the contract, so we have removed the proposal from the agenda of next week's Board of Regents meeting. We don't anticipate bringing an additional proposal from them forward, but we'll continue to evaluate short and long-term options for our multimedia rights. We will make a decision that's best term, long-term interest of Nebraska to ensure that Husker Athletics is positioned for success in a changing collegiate athletics landscape.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I tell you
that
what,
is news.
I tell you what. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
Can I say it?
Go on.
We have tons of content and programming. Husker athletes, coaches, Hall of Famers.
It's true.
We have tons. Can you imagine what we could do together? Ponder that.
Sir.
Well, I've often said, we have the airtime. So imagine every night for 250 weeknights where a Husker Classic is being rebroadcast.
Sir.
They're not being used right now. They're not being rude. Yes, right? They're not being used. Maybe some of these post-game shows for programs that don't get highlighted. Maybe some coaches shows for coaches who aren't being highlighted. Maybe more exposure for the student athletes who are there.
Derek.
Let me read the quote for you.
Derek.
Let me read the quote for you. I just want to read this for you because it is important, sir. It is important to consider that in the mission of Nebraska athletics to connect the fans to Husker student athletes by telling their stories and generating support through relationships, content, and experiences. Kind of sounds like our program.
That is what they said.
Kind of sounds like our programming, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Okay. All right, kind sir. I will hand this over to the captain. Rico, thank you, kind sir. I will talk to you all tomorrow from the nation's capital.
Show us the cherry blossoms.
I absolutely will.
And the cherry blossom jerseys.
Absolutely will. Spectacular. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Be good.